1 in 4 people have a mental illness, yet no one talks about it in that way.
My name is Carolanne.
My name is Jaclyn Digregorio.
I was diagnosed with bipolar type 2 disorder about 8 years ago.
My freshman year of college, I was in a new environment like everyone else.
I told everybody in my grade that, a lot of you think that I'm kind of this mean person and I shut people out and I'm really aggressive.
I was surrounded by a lot of girls who talked about what they ate 24/7. They talked about, whether it was good, whether they, ate too many calories, ate too much sugar all the time, and it was all I heard.
If I seem angry or upset, it's not something you do, it's literally just something inside of me that I've been dealing with.
It became worse and worse, and it turned into an eating disorder. I didn't want to go out to eat because I was anxious, because I thought I would binge, because I was restricting myself so much. You shouldn't feel like this. Food shouldn't control your life.
Day to day, I never know how I'm gonna feel in the morning. It's just periods of time when I feel okay and really like myself, and then it's a big switch into periods of depression and anxiety.
I think there's a difference between just like being stressed and feeling anxiety.
Bipolar is not something that can be cured, it's something that you have to cope with.
That person can't just turn it off, and it's something that is just there and they have to learn to deal with, rather than just be like, well, get over it, it's not a big deal.
I don't think mental health was talked about at all in my elementary or middle school. It was almost shameful to talk about it, even though almost everybody in both sides of my family had it.
Because these challenges are, in a sense, normal, you don't even realize something's wrong with you.
I think that the more people talk about mental illness, the more other people will talk about theirs.
The best way to expand your knowledge is hear from someone who's experienced it, hear about their feelings and their story.
I am all about self-care. I found that that's something that I can do every day to help cope with my mental illness.
It's not just bath bombs and, these glorious things.
Self-care to me isn't just like painting your nails.
Some days self-care is getting out of bed on those days where you feel like you can't.
It's more of listening to your body, and if you're tired at 8 p.m., not trying to resist just going to bed and getting a good night's sleep and then waking up early the next day and starting your day.
How can I manage my stress better, whether it be giving myself, more time to spend with friends, whether it be, sometimes just looking at things you have to do and saying like, I'm not gonna do that.
If I need to take a nap, I take a nap, and if I need to take a mental health day off of school, I'll do that.
The way I think of it is being kind to yourself, and how can you be kind to yourself as often as possible, whatever that is for you.
It's not worth the negative effects of pushing myself into a collapse where I have like a manic episode and I can't get myself out of it.
It's sad that you can be struggling silently with whatever it is and people might not even notice.
I think that the more people who are coming out and speaking about their mental health issues is going to change the stigma.
I think it's something that's hard for us to share because we feel like something's wrong with us when we're struggling or when we're down, and that we should be happy all the time. And it's great to do things to try to cheer yourself up, maybe when you're down, but it's okay to admit that you're struggling.
I think the stigma is there because of this taboo of talking about mental health as if it's something shameful, which it's not.
A lot of people struggle with mental health and it's almost normal. I talk about that with eating disorders a lot. Like, disordered eating habits are really common, and so there's nothing wrong with you if you have that.
If I had a broken leg, I would not go to the doctor for it. I would take every precaution and measure I can to get it fixed. And it's the same with your mental health. If your brain doesn't feel good, if your mind isn't well, you need to go get help.
And I think that that's something that might be stigmatized in society as well. Like, something's really wrong with you if you need to go see someone. But that's not true. It's actually probably the best thing you can do for yourself.
Mental health means to me being aware of your body and your mind, and knowing if you don't feel good and being aware and making those changes.
It's not like a quick overnight fix, but you incorporate certain habits into your life to make it more positive and to make these things that you struggle with a little easier.
I did not know the term mental health until I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but ever since then it's become something that's that is exactly as important as my physical health.
I didn't understand what it felt like until I had to go through it myself.
And I think that I'm coping relatively well.
I think we feel like we need to be perfect all the time, and so be a good friend and also be open about your own struggles, because it really helps.